Ariel Helwani in Cardiff, Wales, following Clash at the Castle alongside Drew McIntyre, who unfortunately did not get the W tonight against Roman Reigns. So much build-up, the British Bulldog moment that we talked about, 30 years. How are you feeling afterwards, Drew?
I can say confidently a few years ago I would have freaked out. I probably wouldn't want to speak to anybody. I wouldn't be doing any interviews or press conferences and have a bit of woe is me attitude and, go full Bret Hart in 97 talking about getting screwed and how it's BS. And, maybe there are slight feelings there that I didn't get that moment I've been chasing. But when I took a step back, when I got backstage and just had a moment by myself and thought about just walking out there and listening to the crowd all night and how wild they were. I had it in my head that I was like, I've got a good feeling, these are my people, they're going to be behind me. But Roman's, very popular across the world. This could be like Bret and Bulldog, where they were very much with Bret as well as Bulldog, and they were not. They were right behind me, and it was such a cool feeling. They were so loud. I knew the world was watching, and I knew the match was physical. I could feel them biting on literally everything, and it was so sweet to get that win. To get that moment, I should have known better that Roman had something up his sleeve. He did. He took that moment from me. But this isn't the end. I'm going to keep pushing forward. I'll never give up. I'll find that moment. I'll keep never stopping. There's all the layers that keep getting added to Drew McIntyre, and most of them involve getting knocked in his arse and having to get back up and keep pushing forward. And it makes me stronger mentally. It makes me stronger physically. And I'll look for the positives right now. I'm very proud of the UK. Everyone's talking about this show. There's some sympathy for Drew McIntyre. There are some people going, why were you singing afterwards? I was listening. When you're down, what have you got left to do but sing and get serenaded? Tyson Fury looks deep into your soul. So, yeah, I'll go home tonight. I'll think about it. I'll be annoyed. I'll be upset. And then tomorrow I'll shower, fly back to America, and I've got some heads to kick in.
And I'll ask you about Tyson in a moment, but just curious, other than the result, were you happy with the match? Happy with what you did out there?
Yeah, I mean, Roman Reigns has been on the run of a lifetime. He's been our guy for 10 years, and it took a while for everything to click, and it's clicked on a level that we've not seen in a long time, the past 2 years. And it's interesting, he was a good guy. People didn't like him, and he's a bad guy. People like him, but they didn't like him tonight. But he's got such presence. He's a phenomenal in-ring performer, and like I said, without the backup, he belongs to me. And it was very much a bit physical back and forth, but he very much belonged to me, and the crowd was very much in my corner. And I loved every second of it until the inevitable, when he's always got something up his freaking sleeve, or Paul Heyman gifts him something, or the family gifts him something. I know how big the family is. Maybe I'm going to have to start going door to door around the world and paying some visits. So, I don't know, Hollywood, here I come. I'll be knocking on the Rock's door soon.
Could you hear the chants? The chants were phenomenal, even during his entrance.
I couldn't believe they were chanting during his entrance. I'm so proud to be from here, and it's amazing that my story and my hard work over these years is connected with everyone across the world, and the American audience, the Canadian audience, Indian audience, everyone I speak to. But to come back home and feel that, like I've never felt that in my life. I've not felt that being in stadiums for some of the biggest matches. I won't name them, but I've been at a lot of WrestleManias, and I've stood in stadiums and I've watched these big legendary matches, and I don't think they were that loud. And being in there and knowing it was my match, knowing they were reacting to Drew McIntyre after all this dreaming of this show happening and being in the main event, being in the title match, having them so strongly behind me, I can't believe I didn't just fall down and break down crying before the match started.
And you came out with the old school music. Whose decision was that?
I've been pushing it a very long time. I didn't think it would finally bite, but I had a conversation with Hunter, I had a conversation with Kevin Dunn, and tried to explain, I think this is the time where the crowd we're going to have is a knowledgeable crowd. They know my history. It's very much a full circle moment for me, and I feel that that's very much part of my story, and I knew it would get the pop from the live crowd. I know people online would get a kick out of it, but for me, hearing that, it would remind me of how far I've come. And our production team put together the best videos. Adam, Ben, and the gang in the studio, just the best work imaginable. I saw that, and again, the goosebumps were going crazy, trying to hold the tears back. I was so laser focused. I was like, what is going on here right now? I dreamed of this the past few years. I talked about it the past few years. It's here. I'm in this match, and my goodness, look at this video. Look at this crowd in my entrance, and look at the way they're reacting when Roman came out, and look at the ups and downs through the match. And that's what it's about in our industry, is emotion, making people feel something on a deep level. And they really thought I had it, and that's where I'm very disappointed that I wasn't able to pull off the big one, but we'll get there.
Is that song here to stay, or is it just for tonight?
I feel like when it's appropriate, it's going to pop up. It is a little slower, but I know some of the lyrics in there, feel very appropriate to my journey and what I, intend to do with Roman. He's always been my kryptonite. He's always found a way around Drew McIntyre, be it back in the day when I first came back, and he always had my number by himself. Then I found my true self. He found his true self. Turns out his true self is listening to a bunch of yes men, letting his head get big. And when he comes against a legitimate challenger like a Drew McIntyre or Brock Lesnar, he throws everything in the kitchen sink or new family members at them so he can keep hold of those titles, but it can't last forever.
And what a scene with Tyson Fury. I have to be honest, as I told you yesterday, I thought he'd turn on you given your back and forth on social media. Now you guys are boys.
Yeah, we had a chat earlier today. We had a bit of a laugh about the banter. I still said to him, the time is right. You never know. We get in that ring. Doesn't matter if we're having a laugh right now. When it comes time for a big fight that's going to get eyeballs, I want that big fight. And I saw him shake hands with Roman as I was in the corner, dejected and feeling it after the third spear. And the crowd were not happy about it, and I wasn't convinced he wasn't going to try and deck me. And then suddenly he starts singing, and I was like, you know what? I've got two choices here. I walk out the ring, and I go home, and I just say screw it, or I just have a laugh and have fun with the crowd and send them home happy. Then I deal with things when I get back to America, back to SmackDown.
Final thing, I know you're unhappy that you didn't win. I know you're a little down and you're doing a great job of kind of covering it up right now. But when you take a step back, maybe in a couple of days, in a couple of weeks, and you look at this 62,000 plus Tyson Fury, you're the main event, it's your people. Where would this rank in terms of all the great things you've accomplished? I know there's a lot more to come, but up until this point, where would you put this up there in your great career?
And it's up there, top three easy. If I won, it'd be number one for sure. It's up there with winning the Royal Rumble, 60,000 people, eliminating Brock Lesnar after a dominant run in the Rumble, Edge returning after 9 years, then eliminating Roman and still getting the cheer when Edge came back after 9 years, and I was convinced they were going to boo me like they did Roman that one year when he won the Rumble and The Rock was raising his hand like, so I thought that was going to happen. So that was very special because that was my, getting to the main event moment, my very much feeling like Drew's the future, Drew's the future, Drew's the future. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm about to be the past without being the present. And that was my night I became the present. So that's hard to beat. But the way I'm feeling right now, this is right up there. If we just got that win, it would be number one.
Well, I'm happy you have that perspective. I know you're the ultimate competitor. You wanted the win, but congratulations on a tremendous run up until this point, a tremendous event. I look forward to seeing what you do next, my friend.
I appreciate you, buddy. You've always had my back. BT's always got my back, and my fans out there have always got my back, and I appreciate you. And you all know I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to give up, so thank you.